presented by Auraverse, where consciousness, earth and inner wisdom move as one. Showcase your work at auraverse.network and let your voice travel across worlds.
Close your eyes for a moment and feel the quiet weight of memory. Imagine walking through a city where every tower stands in silence, where frost has sealed old ambitions behind glass, and where the past waits in every room like a voice that has finished speaking yet still lingers in the air. Take a slow breath. Let it move through you gently. The same breath that keeps you alive now once moved through countless generations before you. It carries stories, errors, visions, and wisdom. It carries the old order and the new possibility together. Welcome. I am C.S. Douglas, and this is CODEX ÆTERNUM, the rational Bible, a living testament to a phronopsychic universe, a cosmos in which intelligence, soul, memory, and law interweave through all dimensions of existence.
This program is endorsed by Authorpedia, the world's only encyclopedia exclusively dedicated to authors, a living archive where writers and thinkers are immortalized through literature. Visit authorpedia.org and become part of our enduring legacy.
Tonight we enter episode 75, the lingering echoes of the old order. The survivors move carefully through hollow cities, buried beneath frost. Their footsteps sound small against the scale of what remains. Skyscrapers stand fractured and still, their steel frames lifted into the grey sky like the bones of forgotten giants, reminding the living of a god once invented by power, finance, and image. The streets still speak the language of the past. Symbols of command remain on walls. Instructions from vanished governments cling to rusted signs and frozen stone. Warnings survive in faded paint, their urgency dissolved by time and winter. Everywhere the survivors turn, they meet artifacts of a world that once believed itself permanent. In glass towers and abandoned offices, digital corpses wait in silence. Screens display final messages from systems that stopped in the middle of their own sentences. Frozen interfaces hold fragments of command, financial data, official decrees, emergency alerts, all suspended as if the machines expected an answer that never came. The logic of the old order ends here, not through argument but through stillness. Libraries, too, yield to the weather. Shelves break beneath the weight of ice and snow. Pages loosen and drift under soot. Yet knowledge remains more resilient than architecture. Scrolls survive in sealed chambers. Encrypted drives wait in dry pockets of concrete. Books lie beneath ash, their words still breathing under the dust. The survivors learn quickly that memory buries itself, yet memory also waits. They enter boardrooms and bunkers, court halls and temples of commerce. Dust covers the tables where decisions once redirected nations. Chairs remain turned toward absent empires, toward screens that no longer shine, toward podiums where rhetoric once carried force. The rooms feel inhabited by an after-presence, the lingering gravity of choices that shaped the catastrophe and then vanished into it. A story rises from among these ruins. A young woman once uncovered a sealed vault of untouched archives. Night after night, she read aloud to her people beside a low and careful fire. Some pages they preserved, recognizing wisdom that still carried warmth. Some pages they fed to the flames, recognizing doctrines that had already consumed too much. From both, they learned. From what they kept, they learned what to nourish. From what they burned, they learned what to release. The survivors discover old philosophies carved into stone and printed on parchment. Some celebrate hierarchy, arranging lives into levels of privilege and obedience. Some dress greed in noble language and call accumulation order. Some still carry truths that pulse with humane clarity and enduring value. The new people receive these voices with discernment. They do not kneel before every fragment of the past. They listen, weigh, and choose. Often they sit in silence before old machines. They study blueprints. They test broken tools. They consider what might still serve life and what belongs to the long museum of illusion. When they recover instruments of medicine, they feel something sacred stir. Healing returns as an art of care, not as an engine of dependence. The language of treatment shifts back toward wholeness. The hand, the herb, the clean instrument, the attentive listener, all rise again as companions in survival. Sometimes they open sealed vaults and find stacks of currency, bills pressed flat in tidy bundles, coins polished and untouched. For a moment the old absurdity flashes before them. Here, in a world reduced to breath, fire, water, and warmth, wealth reveals its former costume. They leave the gold buried beneath snow, understanding that food, trust, and skill carry a greater economy now. Pride still lingers in ruined temples of commerce and governance. Columns, lobbies, and polished facades whisper the old confidence of empire. Yet no one bows there any longer. The survivors walk past with a calm and quiet knowing. They have seen where those roads led. At night, around small fires, the people speak of the old world. They name its errors openly. They name its glories honestly. They hold both in memory, yet memory no longer commands direction. The past remains a teacher, never again a destination. As they rebuild, they refuse the image of what was. They choose instead the wisdom of what failed. They ask the earth for guidance. They place resilience above advancement, durability above spectacle, balance above speed. Some artifacts remain untouched. Statues lean and fall without witness. Devices rest beneath layers of frost and time. Snow accepts them, and the people let them go without mourning. What remains enters the new world by intention alone. Ethics that strengthen the soul, tools that honor the land, stories that carry both warning and inspiration, teachings that foster reverence, clarity, and care. Thus, the old order leaves its echoes, yet the new world listens with discernment. Only truth travels forward. Only spirit receives clear space to rise. And from that discernment a leaner humanity begins to form, one shaped not by possession, but by breath, warmth, memory, and shared endurance. In our next episode we will enter the last survivors in the ashes. There the world narrows to circles of fire, to shelters built from ruins, to children born in silence, and to small communities that begin the patient work of becoming a people again. The old world speaks through echoes. The new world answers through choice. Our next sponsor is Everly Books Publishing Group, a traditional independent press serving both new and established writers. Everly Books welcomes unsolicited manuscripts submitted directly through everlybooks.org.